Welcome everyone to Let's Play Final Fantasy Extra, and just a bit of channel news before we get into today's episode. It's been a few months since I've last posted to the channel, and unfortunately some of that was technical difficulties with the computer, but also just real life stuff. Unfortunately, just was a bit too busy to post to the channel, and also accidentally, genius me, accidentally bricked the PC, but with a few help with some techs, we were able to not only get the PC up and running, but also update it to Windows 11. So hopefully we'll be able to continue our walkthrough of the patches between arealmreborn and Heaven's Ward. Last we looked at that, we were in the middle of aiding refugees who were looking to get asylum in Uldal, but they were rejected. But there is another option that we will get to once we cover that episode. But for today, we're doing a Let's Play Extra, and we're recovering the Rising Tide Festival for 2025. So we are in Limsa Lominsa, the upper decks, and I'm using my main character, Morgana, for once, instead of Kasmeer. But anyway, we want to go to the Aft Castle in Limsa Lominsa. That's the shard right there. Coming to the platform here, and you want to speak to the Wandering Minstrel, and he will give you the quest, An Adventurer's Ambition. Wandering Minstrel is in search of inspiration, and this quest is only available for a limited time. This is only during the Rising Tide, and I believe it closes rather soon. I want to say maybe the 8th. I might be wrong on that. But let's get to it. Well, now, if it isn't my adventurer friend, Lightbringer, it could only be a blessing from the Navigator that we should meet again here and now. You see, I have been struggling to find inspiration for a new song to perform this rising. I have a mind to speak with the locals for their tales, for which I could use your assistance. Might you be willing to accompany me? I am truly grateful. During the Rising, we remember those we lost in the calamity, even as we turn our attention to a brighter future. 'Tis my hope to hear a tale that inspires one and all to look forward. Now then, there is no better place for talk in Limsa Lominsa than the Drowning Wench. Let us first seek out the barkeep, Beteron, and see if he has aught of interest to share. Oh, come on, what's the harm? What's the harm? You get yourself killed, that's what's the harm. I ain't letting one so young sign up. Why do you want to become an adventurer so bad anyway? There's this place I need to go to. The problem is, Yellow Jackets won't let a child leave the city alone. But if I was an adventurer, I'd be responsible for myself. I could go wherever I please, whenever I please. So please, let me sign up. It ain't that simple, lass. I've got a responsibility to those I sign up. If I let someone what's clearly unprepared and out there and end up hurt or worse, I wouldn't be able to live it down. And don't even get me started on the damage it'll cause the guild's reputation. So you can forget about signing up until you're older. Much older. But it has to be now during the Rising. Why do you have to be so responsible? It comes with age, lass. Now run along and get yourself home. Everything all right? Sorry you had to see that. The little cub's bent on becoming an adventurer, but I said no and sent her on her way. Still, I can't help but worry. She doesn't strike me as the sort to give up easily. True that. Wouldn't surprise me a whit if she tried to sneak out anyway. I hate to impose, but do you reckon you could keep an eye on Richa? I do it myself, but I can't up and leave the tavern. The timing of the rising seemed to be of the essence to the little one. Intriguing, would you not agree? Let us ask her about that. I'm in your debt. Now, the nearest city exits the Tempest Gate over by the Aft Castle. I suggest you begin talking to Kindrel, the sentry yonder. So, programming note. Morgana, I bring her Morgana here. She is much farther in the story than Kasmeer. In fact, she is up to date with the main quest as of, I think, patch 7.3. So I highly doubt it, but don't be surprised if the dialogue differs a bit if you're like Kasmeer and not quite so far down the... Okay, that's where you need to go. Not quite so far down the main quest storyline. Anyway, this is the exit, the Tempest Gate, and this is who we need to talk to. The lowlands of Venosha await you on the other side of the Tempest Gates. At veteran's behest, you say. As it happens, a girl of that description did come through just a moment ago. She was at the heels of Makote Peddler, so at a glance one might think them parent and child, but the way she kept stealing glances behind her may be suspicious. So I alerted my comrade Oyo outside, and I expect she stopped the little one for questioning. If you're worried, you should seek her out. Our thanks for the information. We shall find your comrade at once. Yep, and off we go. And there's a little bugger. I know my YouTubey. So, Valderin sent ye after the little one. I was just about to ask her what she's up to. But was it, dearie? Even without others telling ye, you ought to know it's dangerous out there. What is it that you want to do so badly that you risk your life like this? There's something that I need to see. It doesn't matter if it's dangerous. I have to go. We understand that you have your reasons. Even so, we cannot in good conscience allow you to wander the wilds alone. So, here I will make a proposal. Rather than becoming an adventurer, why not employ the services of one? With a dependable adventurer at your side, you'll be able to reach your destination safely. This, I believe, is your best option. But I don't have any money. And what adventurer want to help a child anyway? Why, our friend here, of course. And here you can choose your dialogue. We'll go with the first option. I shall be glad to provide suitable recompense in Richta's stead. While a part of me hopes that this will lead to inspiration for a song above all, I feel compelled to lend a helping hand. You really helped me? Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad it worked out for ye, but as a client, there's something you need to bear in mind. That is, you've got to give the adventurer you trust. Be honest with what exactly it is you need, and she'll be able to help you all the better. The place I want to go is a lighthouse here in Lower Lenosha. It's named for one of the 12. I heard a rumor from a kid in town, you see. He told me that ghosts appear there during the rising. They're supposedly lighthouse keepers who died in the calamity, and they spirit children away to the realm of the dead. But that's got to be nonsense, and I want to prove it. Oh, the 2 lighthouses in the area. Ocean's Torch is the only one as civilians can still get to. Don't recall earning nothing about ghosts, though. I can't help but be cautious, so I'll come along. Even a yellow jacket with you ought to make things easier, I reckon. That's outside of a skirmish, anyway. Being a cannoneer, I'm more at home blasting things from a distance. If you run into angry fiends on the road, they're all yours. So, what's your name, adventurer? Lightbringer Morgana. I'll remember that. Thank you so much for helping me. We'll go on to Ocean's Torch and we'll see if the rumor about the ghosts is true. So that's not the only quest. Let's go to the next one. A light that ever burns. Are you ready to go, Lightbringer? As much as I would like to accompany you, someone should return to the drowning wench to apprise better of these developments. Besides, to hear your account afterwards, what you learned and felt will also bring unique inspiration. I wish you an enjoyable and insightful excursion. Right, to begin with, how about we head east to Madman Bridge, and I give Rich a chance to see the sights. The path can be steep in places, so take care you don't take a tumble now. I'll be fine, don't worry. Let the adventure begin. Okay. Look, a river, and there's some sort of strange animal. You sometimes see children out this way with their folks, but I take it you've never been? Actually, I have. It was a long time ago, though, before my parents died in the calamity. It's all right. I like it at the orphanage. Everyone's really nice, and I have lots of fun. That'll be Layman Shoals, I take it. It's an orphanage run by a former Seguin Siren, in case he wasn't aware. A fine place by all accounts. If that's where Richta's from, I'll have one of my comrades contact the caretakers. Wouldn't do to let them think she's missing. Right then. Next we'll make for Ocean's Embrace. Up this ear till take it slow so you don't wear yourself down. Okay. And we are... Okay. So we came down the stone passage here. We're basically making a sharp right turn, going almost back to where we came. And you can partake of the fates, like we just passed through here, but you'll have to hit the level sync button. We are well above the range for this area. All right. Whoa, we're so high up. This is amazing. I felt the same when I looked out from here the first time. This bridge was built where a tidal wave sundered the land during the calamity. It's a symbol of our people's determination to rise above the tragedy. Miss Dorothea, that's the headmistress, said that we Lominsans work hard because we hate to lose and like what we do. What about you? Do you like being an adventurer? Of course, our character, she's all about seeing the sights and traveling on, so we choose the first one. That's what I thought. When I grow up, I hope I'll like what I do as well. My parents like what they did, I think. When the calamity struck, they didn't run away. They were noble souls, Miss Dorothea said. She promised to tell me everything one day, but I don't know how to feel when they're gone, and... I can't find the words. I want to be a good client, so I'll think on it. Seems the Richa's got something she needs to get off her chest. In wanting to verify the rumor, mayhap she... but there's no use speculating. Come, let's press on. Again, let's increase our running speed here. With these seasonal events, I'd be surprised if you get into combat. That there's Ocean's Torch, one of two lighthouses that were named after the gods. The lighthouse keeper is a bloke named something or other. You can ask him about ghosts and anything else you like. Lighthouse keeper. So, about the reason why I want to know about the ghosts. My father and mother were lighthouse keepers, you see, but they disappeared during the calamity and were never found. When I heard the rumor, I thought that maybe, just maybe, they were the ones haunting the lighthouse. So that's why you want to prove the rumor wrong. You couldn't stand people thinking your parents were doing terrible things. Aye, but part of me wishes that the rumor was true, that I'd be able to talk to my parents again. But there's so many things I'd like to ask them. Well, whatever the truth is, we'll find out soon. Let's keep going. Okay, so that beyond here is more of a dry docks. Whereas we are going to the lighthouse. Whoa, the sea's frozen in a splash. Amazing. This area was already hit by the calamity. On top of the tidal wave splashing away, big swaths of land and a piece of Dalamud came crashing down yonder. The sea had caused ether to gush out the land and crystallize it all at once. At that time, I was with Miss Dorothea. She was my mother's friend, and she took me to a safe place. I was very little then. I didn't fully understand what was happening, but the calamity really was a frightful thing. I can't imagine how it was for father and mother. Okay, didn't know. Learn a piece of lore about that area here. Here's a keeper. Well now, if it ain't guests, what brings you to the torch? Ghoster in the Horizon. For all my years as a keeper, I have not seen nor heard about any such things at any lighthouse I know. 'Tis certainly the sort of place as children might believe haunted, though. Might as be someone mistook me or some laundry for a specter. So father and mother weren't ghosts after all. You can see the front fangs coming in when she talks. She is a Makote after all. But I must say, it's a surprise to see Rathan's little girl here. Your parents showed me the ropes when I was starting out as a keeper. They had charge o' Lyman's ring yonder. Nowadays, it's on a little isle, but there used to be a stretch of land connecting to it. A dangerous stretch it was, rife with nasty beasts. You needed to hire adventurers and grizzled ones at that, just to deliver supplies. If you knew my parents, please tell me about them. They left me in Limsa Lominsa during the calamity and died in the tidal wave. Why did they go out there even though it was so dangerous? What was going through their minds, I want to know. I was stationed elsewhere at the time, so I only read this in a report. But your folks did everything they could to protect Lyman's ring. They built a breakwater using anything and everything they had on hand. But in the end, there was no stopping such a monstrous wave. Countless souls went missing when it struck, and the maelstrom mounted search and rescue operations. I joined in the effort, but I'm afraid they were never found. Know, though, that your folks didn't die in vain. By manning their lighthouse to the very end that day, they guided many vessels safely to shore and saved many lives. I see. They really were noble souls, like Miss Dorothea said. But if I could choose, I wish that they were still here. This is just a thought. But how do you like to stay the night and hear more about your folks? It'd only be the mundane, everyday things. But what I know, I'd be glad to share with ye. I'd like that. I'd like that very much. Good morning, Lightbringer. I got up early to look at the lighthouse, where my father and mother used to be. For the longest time, I'd felt as though they'd abandoned me. I wanted to see them one more time so I could ask them why they had to go and to tell them that I missed them. In the end, there weren't any ghosts. Still, I'm glad I could learn about my parents. It made me realize that I want to become someone who helps others, like them and like you. So, thank you for bringing me here. Thank you so much for coming with me, both of you. You're very welcome, dearie. You can always come to me if you need anything. Just no more trying to sneak out, you hear? Well, I better go back to the orphanage. Hopefully Miss Dorothea won't be too mad at me. We'll be wanting to report to the minstrel, I expect. In which case, a comrade of mine tells me he's at the anchor yard. I'll see Terishta gets home safely. Be sure to catch the special fireworks afterwards, eh? See you, Lightbringer. Yeah, Ankyard. There is no real reason to come out here very often except for one of these things, so this is probably an area you won't find very many players. Ah, welcome back, my friend. Was young Richta able to find what she sought? You tell what happened? So, her true purpose was to see if the ghosts were her parents who were taken by the calamity. A tale is born when someone acts in the name of another. As there are so many tales out there, it is impossible for us to know every single one. Yet a tale may occasionally find its way to those who need it most, such as that of the lighthouse keepers, whose courage and sacrifice have come to guide their child years after their passing. Thank you, Lightbringer, not only for granting Richta's wish, but for providing me with inspiration as well. While we wait for the special fireworks to begin, might you tell me more of your excursion? Yes, it comes to me. A verse for all who strive onwards, this day and every day. The Echo. Greetings, warrior of light. This is a world that exists outside of your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps, or perhaps not. It's a pleasure to meet you again. As I have in the past, I have beckoned you that I might express my gratitude. Ah, it's the head developer. For long years we have walked together, with you on this grand adventure. It is a never-ending journey, one that shall continue tomorrow as surely as what does today. The most natural of things. Along the way, I have endeavored to keep my gaze firmly fixed upon the future. Of late, however, I have been keenly reminded that we must occasionally look back upon the path we walked, that we might remember the lessons learned. In the course of our adventures, it seems that I, too, have grown. To learn from successes and failures both, to forge ahead with humility and sincerity. This is what I had resolved to do at Journey's beginning, and I resolved to do so anew. Nothing would please us more than to continue having you at our side on the road ahead. And I pray that upon this journey of life that we have the honor to share, the light of the crystal shall ever shine. No. Time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. This world shall yet endure, And as we continue to make our way, I pray that ye shall have occasion to meet again. Till that day, I wish you the happiest of journeys. Fare ye well. Most happenings in our lives have no bearing on the fate of the world. More often than not, they go unobserved and unremarked. But you, my friend, gather up such forgotten tales and see them delivered. In so doing, you bring joy, and as a token of my gratitude, I dedicate to you this song, a song of journeys fulfilling. Go ahead and read at your leisure. I have no doubt that you, Eorzea and Eorzea, shall give rise to a great many more tales. Your tales, in particular, may be more varied than those of others. There may be times when you face great hardships, and the weight is more than you can bear. In such a time, I bid you remember this. No matter how great your burdens, the tales that you have gathered shall ever be your strength, a beacon to light your way in the darkness. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you for watching. Next time, we will return with Kasmeer and continue covering the main story, or the patches between Heavensward and Realm Reborn. Also, we're going to be trying to do shorter length episodes, but we'll see how that works. I might have to do a little bit of extra recording, because we'll see if it's too short or not. But anyway, please join us next time as we re-embark on the road to Heavensward. And until then, take care, and we'll see you next time.